Hello everyone, welcome back to another session on the channel. Today we would be talking about load balancing in Azure. So let's get started first with the PPT. So load balancing basically refers to event distribution of network traffic through from a single public endpoint to a multiple number of servers based on the configuration. Now uh, in Azure, the load balancer in Azure is basically an OSI 4 model load balancer where it distributes traffic based on TCP UDP ports. It does not have a capability to distribute traffic on STT. It basically does not have the traffic. Sorry, it does not have the capacity to distribute STTP or STTPS traffic. So now Azure Load Balancer uses a 5 tuple hashing algorithm to evenly distribute the incoming traffic. Now the hash consists of details which are these five: the source IP, the source port, the destination IP, destination port, and the protocol type. The protocol type is either TCP or UDP, and destination IP and destination ports are basically our VMs which are configured as the backend of the load balancers. Now there's another functionality in Azure Load Balancer which is NATing rules. NATing basically means network address translation. What this does is exactly it maps a specific port at my load balancer to to other specific port at my VM end. So basically, it does port forwarding from the source end to the destination end. The source being my load balancer and the destination being my virtual machine. So this method comes in very handy when we are trying to hide default ports in the VM from the end users basically. So there are multiple types of NATing which are used in the Azure Load Balancer is basically a destination and NATing. Uh, yeah. So let's move on to the next slide. This is a small diagram of Azure Load Balancer. This uh, this is our user. A user is connected to the load balancer using the public IP address of the load balancer, and this is the backend pool of the load balancer where we have our VMs attached, VMs configured basically. So based on our load balancing rules and our NATing rules, the load balancer performs the required work. So for today's demo, we will create two VMs in a specific resource group and same region. It has to be in the same region and same resource group. Then we'll create a load balancer, attach the two VMs to its backend pools, and then we will configure NATing rules based on these two rules. Today we will not do the actual load balancing. It would take a bit more of time. Today we will do NATing basically. Uh, so we'll configure these two rules on the two VMs. So the first rule says the port 80 on my load balancer will redirect to port 3389 on my VM first VM, and port 8443 on my load balancer will redirect to port 3389 on my second VM. Now 3389 is the RDP default RDP port for all the VMs, all the Windows VMs basically. Uh, so yeah, so this was a small theory. Let's jump into our portal and do the demo and complete this deployment. So this is my portal. For time saving, I have already created two VMs. These are up and running. So now we need to create a load balancer. Let's for fun's sake, instead of since everyone uses portal, let's instead of using portal, Let's use Azure CLI today to create the load balancer. So uh, for creating load balancer, the command is az network lb create. It's a long command. No, you don't need to. You never need to remember it. Just type after this help. So this basically lists out all the commands you can use complete to create a load balancer. I have one specific script created. I mean, I've modified it. Let's use that. We'll copy it and paste it. So it says my AZ network LB create is my default command, and then resource group I am giving it as test resource group. Sorry about that. Yeah, resource group is test resource group. The name of my load balancer will be test load balancer, test LB. SKU means stock keeping unit. SKU means I have chosen SKU to be standard. Public IP address is test public IP. Front end IP name is test FIP, and backend pool is backend BEP basically for me. Just basic names. You can choose whatever you want. We'll hit enter. Let's. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Uh, 1 second. Let's see what it creates. So it's running the script. Give it few minutes. So seems like the resource is created. Let's also check it from here itself. Easy network. For checking any the status of any resource, just type AZ network load balancer list. I'll output. Sorry about that. Not like this. List output as a in table format. So as you can see, it's showing up. I have one load balancer created. Location is West US2. Name is test LB. Provisioning status is succeeded. Resource group is test RG, and this is the resource ID basically. Let's move into portal first. So this is my portal. I will go into load balancer. As I can see, this is the same load balancer which we created using CLI. Let's jump into this. I have a public IP address attached to it. Let's This is my front end IP configuration. Front end is basically my public IP address. So since we are supposed to do NATing today, we will configure backend pools and inbound NAT rules. So let's first configure backend pools. I already have a backend pool rule over here. Let's go inside it and attach two VMs to this. Virtual network is my web server VNet1. Add virtual machines. I'll choose both my VMs since both our VMs are in same resource group, same network, and same location also. So they suffice all the prerequisites to work together. Let's add this. and let's save this. Yeah, let's save this configuration. So this is done. It says it has two virtual machines. Let's jump into inbound NAT rules and configure the NATing rules for each of the VMs. So we'll create first rule. First rule says, I'll just give let me just check 1 second. For we'll create first rule for my VM, the name of the resource, my VM RDP underscore NAT. Just name the rule as per your choice. Frontend IP is my load balancer's frontend IP. For the service, we'll use HTTP because port 80 belongs to HTTP as per the presentation. Port A will be using HTTP port 80 for the first rule. Port 80 target virtual machine, my first VM, network IP config 1015, and then just do it as a custom one first. My target port would be as per the presentation 3389. Add. So the first rule is created. Let's create another rule for the second VM. The name of the second VM is WebVM. So we'll start the rule with WebVM underscore RDP underscore NAT. Same front-end IP address. For the service, we will choose a as per the presentation. It is 8443. This one. So we will choose a custom port. I'll give the port number as the custom port as 8443. My target VM is WebVM. IP address is 10014. Port mapping, again custom and the same port number to 3389. Let's add this also. So we have the second rule also created. So basically we have both rules created. Let's try to RDP to each of the VMs. Let's just test the RDP. We'll not actually log in. It would take time. So Okay. So this is our IP address. For my first VM, we'll use port 80 as the IP address. Sorry, port number. Let's connect. So it's connecting. 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, we have successfully RDP'd to one of the VMs using the load balancer netting configuration. Let's close this. Let's also test it for the second VM. I'll just change the IP address already over here, 8443. So this is also giving a reply back, which means it will successfully connect to my VM also as VM. So yeah. So this is what netting basically does. It translates one port to different port based on the source and destination. So as per the diagram, this is what we intended to deploy. Instead, we didn't deploy three VMs. We had two VMs deployed, and that was the proof of concept. Thanks for watching the video. Do like, share, and subscribe, and put in a comment below.